Welcome to Shades of Spirit with me, Psychic Medium Jamie.
And me, Spiritwalker Nicole, making sacred connections, bringing a shade of spirit to you.
In this live call-in variety show, we are going to take the fear out of spirit communications. We talk about all things spirit related. As we connect you with your crossed over loved ones, angels, and guides. We will provide useful tips for developing your own psychic and healing abilities to integrate these techniques into your everyday life and have fun in the process.
Because if it ain't fun, we're done. Shades of Spirit starts now.
Everybody, welcome back to Shades of Spirits. I know, am I loud in your ears?
It's a little loud.
It's all right. We'll take one ear off. Shining Through Darkness. If you guys have not seen our totally awesome banner, you've got to go on to Shades of Spirit LLC on Facebook. We've posted it on Instagram, and it's on Transformation Talk Radio's Facebook page and their website as well. We are delayed by a month, but we try and keep you guys in the loop. So if you do follow us on our Facebook page, Shades of Spirit LLC, you're going to see that we have been going through some life lessons, right? And that we're excited that we're on season 2 of our show. So the little break actually is well, I don't know. Our main goal to have a little break was to regroup, take a little bit of time off, really kind of reformulate how we want the show to go. The banner couldn't be any more awesome than it already is, right? I mean, they did a fantastic job on that. We're working on our intro, so that is going to be a work in progress, but I kind of like that vibe and the whole, the way that the colors were and stuff, because it's season 2, right? On any show, you need a season 2. And BTW, for all of you that have heard us argue 1,800 times, she's sitting in front of me now so that I don't have to look like an idiot going like this. And for you, Spiritwalker Nicole.
I'm sitting here for now.
For now. But look at my little background. I love it. So the premise of season 2 is going to be shining through the darkness, which is why we have the moon reflecting off of the water, right? Because with what we do, it's shades of spirit. So again, for anybody that's new, that's joining us, explain who you are, what you do, what you tap into, because it's going to make more sense to them of why we named kind of or titled this season that.
Well, whereas Jamie, I'll let you introduce yourself when it's your turn. But for me, I like to connect to the angels, the guides, that sort of higher realms, if you will. And, the occasional dead person will come through and crash the party, which is always welcome. But that's not what I do best, but it's what I enjoy doing.
So you are the shining light. And for those of you that actually know her, I know, wah, wah. No, I'm just kidding. But that is that angelic, that vibration is very high when we work with Spiritwalker Nicole. Again, so that no one asks us 1,800 times, that is the reason why she is not on camera, is because when she's actually working on messages for you guys. So yes, we will still be doing readings throughout the shows. Not so much today. We're just kind of getting our feet back in the water. We're trying to just kind of acclimate, if you will. So it'll just be a show of this. You guys have to listen to us talk for 30 whole minutes. But at the same time, when we're doing our readings and stuff, she's actually channeling through with the angels. I don't see very many people in the years upon years that I've been doing this that have that talent and ability to do it. But what happens is that this is what you see when she's doing it. It's not very exciting, you guys. It really isn't. So instead of you guys going like this, and she's over here going and talking to them, she stays off camera to stay in that focus. As for me, I work with all sorts of realms, if you will. So I work well in that human realm, ones that pass over, the spirits that are right in front of us, your grandparents, your parents, your loved ones, anybody that's passed over that is walking that earth plane, comes down to visit us and give us that message, goes back up to where they are, working up in that spirit form, they've ascended, they'll still come in, greet us with those messages. I am a psychic, I am a medium, I am an intuitive, we're both Reiki masters. We continue to grow and excel in this field because that's what this is all about, is continuing to learn through the process, which is why our show today is also talking to us about, being in a space of human lessons. and, taking that spiritual break, because at times what they will do is they will go, and you're out. It's time for you to learn these spiritual lessons. Now, a lot of us won't learn one or the other, right? So we stay in human mode and we miss a lot of the spiritual lessons, or we're in the spiritual mode to the point where we start missing the human lessons. And honestly, I think that's what was happening to us through the pandemic. It was great because we had a show.
Not the pandemic. The
The
pandemic,
pandemic was not great. Nope,
Nope.
nope, nope. But for our spiritual development, being able to go within, to actually be at home, be in that space, we had 8 shows a month.
Yeah, busy.
We had Eye of Soul Radio, which we're fusing in with the Shades of Spirit this time around. We were on spirit mode at a level that I can't even explain. I became a Reiki master teacher. I taught students all across the United States Reiki sessions and taught them how to be Reiki level 1, 2, and masters as well. So it was a very high vibrational time for us because we couldn't, I'm not saying we couldn't do anything else, but it really allowed us to be in that space. And once the world started opening up, all of a sudden, so did we, but on the human level. And it really kind of just, I don't know, knocked me off my kilter. If that's, I feel like my grandma, it just knocked me off my kilter. But yeah, and that was a shock to say the least. So that's why you see the phone on there, right? Hey, Spirit's calling. And we're over here like, oh, we're on a spiritual break. Sorry. We need to learn our lessons from the human life. We're both life path 9. So that is the ascension. It is a very spiritual life path. If you're into numerology, it allows us to be in that space of really being in that spirit mode the majority of the time. But then it reminds us from time to time, whether we like it or not, it's going to kick that box out from under us and allow us to be in the human state. So my question is to you guys that are following us tonight, how many of you have noticed that once everything started to open up, right? School started to go back into session. If you chose to put your kids in school, if not, now you're working on the human level of, whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, none of that is up for debate here. It's about your own choice, but we had to start making these human choices again, right? It wasn't just implied that, okay, we've got a pandemic, so we're all going to be in this bubble. A lot of you had to go back to work, which is a big shock. I know from a lot of my clients that was a huge shock, and working through Reiki with them and bringing them back into center, because now they're surrounded by the energy right in their energy field, as opposed to being able to kind of shield it working from home. So how many of you are kind of working through that? Now you can post on Transformation Talk Radio with comments. You can post on our page with comments as well. We do go back, which is really nice, and be able to look at the comments and to be able to kind of respond when needed. But we like to make this a community which is safe, which is in a space of love and light, and where we can share with one another. But that's why we're doing today's show, is because we got knocked on our butt pretty damn hard. Yeah. So for me, let's go through here. I'm gonna make you go first. Okay. So we're going to go past, present, and future, because that's really where we're at in the moment, right? And so when we tap into the past, the title was We're on a Spiritual Break, Lessons from the Human Life, right? So from tonight, what would you like to say with the past, right? What would be some of the biggest stresses, if you will? I don't even know if that's the right word. You can elaborate. That you learned from the past few months in that human life situation. And what was kind of a takeaway lesson over the past 3 months for you?
For me, it was, like we were having such a good time, like with our shows and our readings and just spirit. And that's so much fun. And then just like you said, you kind of have to go back to real life. But I feel like our real life is, that first day back from vacation, when you go back to work after you've had like 2 weeks off and then everything hits you like a freight train.
Yep.
I feel like that's been our life for several months now, actually, just every single day. But for me, during our spiritual break, I missed that connection. I missed, just because everything was sort of coming up and we got to be here and do that, sign this, go here, pick up this. It was just nonstop. It's still kind of like that. But I miss that connection, that moment, even if it's just for a few minutes a day with spirit, where you can connect and feel that. And, whether it be meditate or just talk to your guides or whatever it is, it just became like, I wasn't doing it.
Bottom line, point blank.
Yeah.
What does LaShawn say? LaShawn, the luminous mystic. Bottom line, point blank. What's the last phrase? LaShawn, I know you were going to watch, so tell us what it is, because I really want it on a shirt.
Is it game over?
No, that seems bad.
No.
There was no game over.
She says something.
She does. But I mean, that really where it was at was like, hey, focus on what we need to do right now. So with that and the human life, what are you taking away from that? Not being able to carve out that time, or, well, let's just be honest. We just didn't.
Well, and that's the key phrase. We didn't. And, you know, I can blame life. I can blame my circumstances. I can blame all of those things, but really I didn't make the time. I chose, you know, whether directly or indirectly, maybe I chose other things other than staying connected to my spirit team and really listening and connecting with angels to help other people and myself. I use them just as much for myself as I do for other people, but I allowed everything to completely overshadow that in order to get everything that we needed done.
Period. Bottom line, point blank.
There it is.
There it is. Drop the mic.
Yep.
LaShawn is in the house. LaShawn will be joining us. I don't think she knows this yet for our next show. So we are on every other week, the second and fourth Wednesday. It's actually the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh.
So, you know, hopefully she's coming to Thanksgiving. Huh?
Oh, no. Okay.
You know, yeah.
Right.
We're going to have a good time.
Of course.
We'll have her come.
Anytime she's involved, you can't help it. It's like the rule.
It's the rule of thumb.
There's something really wrong with you if you're not having a good time with LaShawn.
That's
okay. That sounded
no.
Sorry.
You know, you guys missed us. Woo! Okay. So that was your past, right? Okay. Now for me, I learned, why are you laughing at me?
Because the dramatic pause.
Well,
for me,
you know what? This was dramatic,
Mhm.
honestly, because I've lived my life since age 4 or 5. As you started having angels come visit you, I started having come to the realization that there were people standing in my room that were not actually human. And then I got dismissed time and time again from my parents to no fault of their own, right? That generation wasn't necessarily as in tune. Though I still blame my dad on a lot of this. I think I would have been able to be in different places now, except I wouldn't have learned all those human lessons early in life if my dad would have told me at age, 10, maybe when I finally started coming to them saying, hey, these weird things are happening, and they were dismissing them as nightmares and all that other stuff. If he would have said to me, hey, both your grandmothers were psychics. I come from a family lineage of psychics. Did not know that fact till I was 40. I'm still only 25, so I don't know how that math adds up, but that would have actually put me on a different path. But I wasn't supposed to go down that path, right? I was supposed to learn all these human lessons in the beginning so that when we hit that mark of kind of age 40, we could start opening up spiritually and accepting. For me, I started taking classes at 25 and just evolved, but I didn't become who I was spiritually and my gifts and really embracing them until my late 30s. So I have to say that I've been quite connected at such a young age. And the past few months completely took me out of that. And I was just so wrapped up in the day-to-day stresses of life. I'm calling them stresses. I have been stressed out, right? I became completely human. There were days where I had not connected with my spirit team. And I know my students are over here like, excuse me, but I've been open with them and with you guys as well. I actually stopped doing readings for close to a month because life was just busy. I couldn't commit to a certain schedule because I didn't know what was really coming because so many things were in limbo. And I also became very withdrawn. We'll get to that in a minute. Not myself, and felt like I was in some sort of other person's body, which was not a happy place. But you know what? I started to reside in that energy. And I know a lot of us do. And so for those of you watching, guess what? We're calling you out right now because we have each other to call out. We've got LaShawn over here to call out. And I do have to thank a couple of my students who I just recently connected with at a group event for Halloween, who had a very one-on-one connection with me. I'm just saying your name. Hi, Michael. And really narrowed down the perspective from the outside looking into where I was. And that was the final turning point for me of just like, all right, get your S together. we need to regroup. And you know what, for me, it really kind of started in the summer. We finished the show in the summer. My oldest decided that she wanted to go to a college. That's fantastic, right? Well, as a parent, now you're worried about, oh my gosh, she's not going to be home. What are the expenses? And all these things start lining up. Then when that starts lining up, then I have to go for the job. And then I got this and I got that and I got that. And it just spiraled for me. I interviewed for, I don't know, what do you say? 15 jobs, got all 15 jobs. Not to toot my own horn. I'm very good at what I do. But none of them felt right. And then in the process of going through one of the final processes of a job that I applied for, which I didn't actually mean to apply for, spirit was coming in, I became injured in the pre-physical part of it. And part of it was just my own knees, and the other part was the actual physical part of it. And that dropped me down to a level that I have not been at. I don't know if I ever have been to that part of it, because when you start working in body pain, it's bad. It really is bad. It overshadows everything. And I know a lot of you can attest to that as well, that we lose sight of the spirit side of life because we're just trying to do the mundane day-to-day things of getting the kids off to school. I've got to try and put these boots on and walk into a job interview where I'm standing tall and I'm being present. And yet I want to cry because I don't want to take another step forward. All these type of things started adding up for me, and I lost the balance completely. And what was the one thing you said when I was just sitting there like this? I was gone. There was nothing left.
I don't know. What did I say?
You were like, what the F is happening to you right now? Right?
Did I make that hand gesture?
Pretty much. Like, what is this right now? Right? And even LaShawn's like, hello, we got this going on this. And I just wasn't myself. I wasn't myself with my family. I wasn't myself with myself. And LaShawn made a really good point. She had a reading from a fabulous astrologist and medium who said that she can't go back to that day job because if she does, it will really take the soul part out of her life and her soul purpose. And I said, LaShawn, I couldn't have said it any better myself. I just couldn't articulate it that way. Is that the more I became human, the more I felt my soul leaving my body. And that's scary for us. So really, I had my wake up call, because it was between LaShawn and Nicole, and then having a conversation with Michael of just like, get up off the floor. You're able to find balance, which is what we all are looking for. You may need to actually reach out for help. I'm a Virgo. We don't do that, but guess what we do? Because when we do, we actually start to ascend. We were able to manifest this house, manifest selling the other house. All these things were coming into alignment. And yet, did either one of us see it? Nope. But look where we are. We may have boxes and a storage unit that's still going to be done. That takes us to the present, right? So how are you feeling now? So that's been the past few months. Where are you at now?
It's still, well, the key word is balance. I'm trying to strike that and, find that, but then it's the human part of it is also like, okay, I'm going to sit for 2 minutes and I'm going to meditate or, connect or something. And then I start to feel actually guilty because yes, I want to be doing what I'm doing, but I also have a pile of clothes over there that need to be folded.
7 boxes,
have,
7 boxes.
Oh, by the way, I, didn't get enough. I need to go get gas for and it's just, so it's hard. It's hard. I just have to get better about managing that and then putting my priorities in order. And, putting spirit first. That's been on the back burner for far too long. I feel it. I don't like that feeling. I don't like the disconnection. So now it's kind of going, okay, let's settle down. And for me, it's always when spirit's in my life and a part of it, I feel much better. I'm much calmer. Things don't get to me as quickly as they do. And it's just, I'm a better person when I kind of, what do you call it, like holding hands with spirit throughout the day, as opposed to just saying, okay, I'll get to you in a second, please hold.
So if you had to put a title on it, what is it?
What is what?
The title of where you're feeling right now. Do you feel guilty?
I do feel guilty. I feel guilty, but it's okay because I know that I know myself, and I know that I will be able to transition this and get to where I need to be. It's just a matter of getting out of my own way, and I get in my own way a lot.
And presently, physically, because we're Reiki masters, we also are very in tune with energy. How has the past few months affected you now physically?
It catches up to you. You can only be, redlining stress all for so long if you're not, noticing it and doing the Reiki sessions, checking, like just breath work, whatever it is that gets you to where that happy center place that you like to be. And I've noticed it. I'm like, I'm not sleeping very well. I have headaches, the anxiety's coming in, and I'm like, what is this? And I go, oh, that's right. You've just been going, full force with things that matter, but really they don't. And that's what I'm like, okay, no one is gonna, no one's gonna die if the pile of laundry doesn't get folded. What would help right now?
But a
And
Virgo's like, oh my God, I'm going to die because the laundry's not
Yeah,
folded.
yeah.
Yep. Not just Virgos, just a control freak as well. How many of you feel like you have to be in control? Like I've learned a lot about letting stuff go, the little stuff. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, yay. Hi, how are you? She says holding hands with spirit. She loves it.
Oh, geez.
For me, it's anxiety. Present right now, anxiety. Right? It's still the job part of it. I haven't been able to move forward with my knees in that aspect of it. And then I get the text today, which, threw me for a loop because she's over there like, okay, so for November, I have this and December is this amount and I've got this, but I got that, but I'm going to need you to pay this. And I'm like, we have the holidays. We just moved. I'm not currently working yet. I'm still working towards getting back to work. I'm trying to take care of myself. Right. And then like, okay, the holidays are coming up and, no, everyone doesn't expect elaborate. No one's getting Ferraris in the family. I'm just telling you this year, no Ferraris. Don't give everybody away the gift, Hot Wheels in your stocking. But no, I mean, it all started to hit. And I'm not going to lie, today, I actually sent her a text and I do suffer, as I have made this clear before, from different bouts of anxiety. And a lot of times it's when I'm disconnected. But what I realized today was that it was ingrained in me that it was with your blood sugar, honey. That's what my mom would say. You're bottoming out. Well, just because my dad has low blood sugar doesn't mean that I have it. All the symptoms that I had today that came in the middle of a Vaughn's grocery shopping. And I'm like, what do I want to cook for dinner? What do I need for my vegan? What do I need for my son who's 12 was, semi-picky and putting all the grocery lists together. And all of a sudden it hit me like a freaking railroad train. Yep.
Okay.
It did. I'm on aisle 13, getting my last couple of things. And all of a sudden it started the heart palpitations. I started feeling it in my solar plexus, my stomach's turning. And I'm like, we are not doing this. I'm trying to breathe. Now I am doing a 30-day mindfulness reset program. So all of you that are in the program, you can understand why. If you didn't get a post this morning, I will do one later today. Is that I actually practiced every single one of the things that we've been doing for the past 7 days. It is not too late to join that. It's only $30. You get a month-long program. You can join now. You just do it at your own pace, right? It's an easy program to do. I love it because it's about bringing us back to center. I started my breathing exercises. I started my focus exercises. And I allowed myself to say, okay, you are starting to ramp up into a panic attack. You know what this feels like. You need to get to the front of the line. You need to pay for your groceries and then sit in your car for a minute and just have that space. And that's what I did. And it was to the point where I almost called Spiritwalker Nicole, like, just talk to me for a minute. And yet I said, I can do this. I'm strong enough to do this. I am self-empowered to do this. But the anxiety is definitely kicked in because I still feel like I'm not contributing the way I should. And yet that's a human lesson, right? That's not spirit talking. Spirit's over here like, do you know what you're doing? You're putting out this program. You're getting people involved. You're having open dialogue. It's a safe environment. You're doing readings. You're bringing all these things back. Are you freaking kidding me? And they put me back into that space of balance, right? So if you're interested in that program, go to Shades of Spirit LLC, message us. It's only $30 again. You get 30 days of mindfulness tips and practices and a community to start growing with. But it's tough on that side of it, right? So know, you guys, that when this comes up, we do have to check in with ourselves. So let's go to the future. That's always fun because right now in our mindfulness class, I've told everyone not to focus on the future. Guys, it's just for a show. No, but I mean, really, we are focused on the present. We're focusing on what's happening in the here and now, because if we focus on the past or the future, we start to trigger these anxiety or depression, or just we start to lose balance within ourselves. So we want to be present in what we're doing. But from what we've learned, this is the next progression. So spoiler alert, my 30-day reset program, we will be focusing on this at some point towards the end. Where do you see the future going, and how are you manifesting that? What are you putting out into the universe to get there?
I'm for me, I'm focusing on the fact that I've been through a lot in the past few months, and I'm still here. I'm still fighting. So it's about the mindset, and it's a choice. I am choosing to coexist with spirit and not put it, off or get to it tomorrow, if you will, that sort of mentality. So I think it's good. And I don't like living in the extremes. And so once I change my mind that we're going to find that balance, and you can live human and you can have your spirit time too, and let's have those commingle. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I agree. It's now really focused on what is the present going to bring me for the future? What can I set up now that's of good intentions, that's of loving intentions, that's working with my spirit team again? And doing this mindfulness reset program has actually reconnected me very strongly. And I'm doing more meditations. I'm bringing in archangels that I've never met before and doing more research with them, especially the archangel of patience. That was a big one for us this week, of really starting to center, and patience is the virtue. It really is, in order to project that out and being, in a space of receiving. That's a part too, is if you don't feel you're worthy of receiving, then what are we going to do? And so we're not going to focus a lot on the future. We're just going to acknowledge it, keep working at where we're at, take the lessons we've learned as the human side, and start really mingling them together and being able to form that place of just present and future as one.
And enjoying it, like enjoying the journey too. You can get so wrapped up in that full speed ahead. I got to do this, that you like miss those little things that make a life awesome and fun. And the people that you run into, take the time to talk to the people, the neighbors, checkers, whatever it is, make that connection. Even if it's a small, that makes a difference.
It does. Who cares if we have to race off right when we finish this to go pick up kids, take them to dinner, get this going on. That's life. But also I cherish those moments to sit in the car and have those conversations with the kids. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. These are 30-minute shows now because you've asked, we've listened, and that's what we're giving you. You can follow us on Transformation Talk Radio, Shades of Spirit LLC. We are also on Instagram. We post as well. Our website is shadesofspirit.com. You can book appointments on there. Black Friday specials, that is happening on 11/26. So November 26th, the day after Thanksgiving. You guys be ready. 20% off each person for a group reading through December 31st. 45-minute psychic medium readings at $55. I know that money is tight for a lot of us. And so we still want to connect with family. And I haven't done this in about 5 years. 45 minutes for $55. You cannot book till November 26th. Okay. Also, come see LaShawn and I this Saturday, the 4th. You're going to come see LaShawn and I this coming Saturday at the Women's Club of Oceanside. She's selling her energy bracelets. I'm selling our candles, some smudge sticks. It's going to be really great. The address is 1606 Missouri Avenue, Oceanside, California, 92054. You buy a candle or a bracelet and you'll get a card pulled from your spirit team to take home with you. And also on Saturday, December 4th, we have a Release 2021 Spirit Messages, chair massage, and Reiki tune-up for $111. There's also going to be chakra aligning snacks that raises our vibration as well. Just go to Facebook, Shades of Spirit LLC, look at the event. You can book that on there as well. We're going to see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you guys for joining us. And we are excited to be back. Yay! Have a great next couple of weeks. You've been listening to Shades of Spirit with me, Jamie.
And me, Spiritwalker Nicole.
Tune in next time on TransformationTalkRadio.com as we connect you with your crossed over loved ones, angels, and guides.
And for more information and to book your own private experience, go to shadesofspirit.com. That's shadesofspirit.com.